convincing your viewers to watch your videos to the very end. I mean, that's the goal of every creator, and that's what you need to do too. But how do you retain your viewers to watch your videos from the first second down to the last second? Well, in this video, I'll reveal the 3 key formulas for a killer edit. But there's something you have to do before we get started. Get a note and a pen, because this video is going to be more detailed than a math lecture. We're going way past simple cutting and merging. And just so you know, video editing isn't only about cutting and merging. Nah, video editing is a lot more than that, and you're going to see for yourself in this video. Formula 1. Is editing optional? Editing is probably the essential element for success on YouTube. Editing allows you to reach millions of views in a short time and boost your watch time sky high. If not done well, it can destroy your channel and your expectations, and we definitely don't want that. So you need to know one thing. Editing doesn't always have to be so complicated. Take a look at this creator, for example.
I almost came down a middle of this food. Almost forgot to freaking record it, you know? So let's just break down the numbers first.
This video obviously seems boring with no motion graphics, multiple jump cuts, and flashy animations. But wait a minute. It has 3.6 million views. So are you saying these forms of editing are not necessary? Well, the answer is yes, not quite necessary. You see, this guy's video has only 10 cuts, but that comes from his video niche and type of viewers. His audience prefers watching only such long videos to stimulate themselves. So there's no need for continuous cuts, motion graphics, animations, or heavy music. The important question now is, can your videos fit into this editing style? To explain better, let's take a look at the difference between Sam's and MrBeast's videos. Sam has a cut every 90 seconds, while MrBeast has a cut every 2 seconds. Why is MrBeast's cut always in 2 seconds? That's because his audience desires entertaining and thrilling videos, an editing style completely different from Sam's. But there's something you should take note of in Sam's style. As plain as his videos may be, they never have a boring moment. That is because Sam cuts out all the quiet and silent parts of his videos.
Okay.
So despite how plain they are, they never bore his audience. Also, he never uses too many cuts or animations because that will ruin his video niche for his audience. The key point in this formula is to try to understand your audience perfectly and the type of video they desire. Formula 2. Visual. Now, let's talk about the visuals. The leading reason that most YouTubers fail is due to lack of proper visuals. Visuals can turn any boring, lame video into a million times viewed one. But that's not as easy as it sounds. You need to know which visual you have to use at which point, when to use it to grab the audience by their throat and make them watch the whole thing. Now, this can be done by 3 clips. Number 1, A-roll. A-roll is the main footage that tells your story. It's the clip where you can see the subject and hear it simultaneously. This adds a personal touch to the video to make the audience feel relatable and to make sure that there is no AI chatbot on the other end. Number 2, B-roll. Now, B-roll is the footage that kinda plays a more secondary role. These are like steroids, but for the video. B-rolls are the animation or motion graphics that run between A-roll to make the video more engaging and hooked. These kinds of footage provide visual context or background to the central story and make your video more interesting, so you must have much of it in your videos. Seeing someone's face constantly will make you fall asleep, right? Number 3, other B-roll. Then there is the other B-roll, which consists of elements like stock images or videos, motion graphics, animations, and the like. What these elements do is add more depth to your story and improve your explanation of what you're trying to pass across to the audience. But you might be wondering, what visual elements do I need to make my videos more retentive? Well, relax, because we're diving into that right now. So first of all, you have to give your videos some clip movements and slowly change the scale and position. You can zoom in when you are stating something important or something you want the audience to pay more attention to. Secondly, you can make any part more interesting by slowing or pacing up clips and adding more camera movement. You see, just inserting simple text or static images on your videos sometimes doesn't do much. It's not attention grabbing. Thirdly, you can add captions to make your words more impactful, but don't get dragged into it as you might end up overdoing it and making the video obnoxious. So it's suggested to only use a maximum of 3 captions in a single frame. To understand what I'm trying to say, let's take a look at this recorded video. You can see that there's no way you can insert other elements, but there's a way you can improve its visuals. I know the question on your mind is, how? Well, use these simple steps. Number 1, highlight. The first thing you can do to attract your viewers' attention is to use highlights. To do that, simply highlight a part of a text or image, or highlight the entire area of the image. This will call your viewers' attention. Number 2, dark and blur. The second way is to make use of dark and blur edits. This is when you darken or blur the area around the part you prefer to show your audience. With the other areas dark and blurred, your viewers' eyes will automatically be fixed on the details you want them to see. Number 3, use of shapes. The next thing you can do is to make use of shapes. You can use shapes like squares or circles to call out a text or images. You can also use arrows to point to a particular text or image. These 3 methods will definitely call your audience's attention to what you want them to see. And once your video holds your viewers' attention a lot, then they'll definitely watch it to the end. So since we have that cleared, let's head over to the third formula, which is sound design. Formula 3, sound. There's something you need to understand about sounds in a video. As important as it is to have visuals before you can make a video, it's also important to have sounds in your video. It's not about dumping sounds on your video anyhow you like it. You have to make use of the right sound and also use the right sound at the right time. And that's where sound design comes in. Sound design allows you to give a completely different experience to footage, animations, texts, images, and cuts in your videos. Using them correctly will hook your viewers and retain their attention till the end of your video. Talking about it theoretically won't make it really clear to you. Let's get practical. Now check out this video, see how it feels without sound. Notice how the video fails to set the right mood, lacks the right tone, and can't evoke the right emotion from you as a viewer. That's exactly how a video without sounds is. Well, with the right sounds and sound design, we can achieve all that perfectly. Let's get to editing and see what I mean. Let's sound design this video. So we have our downloaded sounds from Storyblocks here. It's time to put them all in the right places in the timeline. Now I want you to notice something. You can see that the sounds downloaded are car sounds, but they all don't sound the same. That's exactly something you should note down. Make sure to have a variety of sounds before you start your sound design. If you have just the same kind of sound playing in your video, it will bore the audience. Now, as the bars pop up, notice how I add the car sounds and whoosh to give life to the bars as they pop up. For the dialogue box coming down, the buzzing sound did a great job at imitating it and adding like to the motion graphic. We don't want the highlights to look boring, so let's add the chime sounds to it. And there we go. The video looks amazing now. For the lighthouse, let's make it pop up with one of those car sounds. The mountains, the street lamps, and the cloud feel more alive with the added sound effects. Now let's watch the video with the sound designs made. But there's one more thing we can add to make the entire video more lively and engaging. As I said earlier, you have to find the right music and set the tone for your video. If your background music is not setting the right tone and mood for your video, then your entire sound design is useless. So for this video, I'll be using this lighthearted music to tell the story I want to tell perfectly. But there's something you should note. When adding background music, make sure the volume of all sound designs are brought down to -9. That way, the sound designs and the music won't clash with each other. Since we have everything sorted out, let's watch the final video. Now, see all these great tips I've given you today? I hope you took as many notes as possible. Make sure to replicate these tips in your next video. Before I leave, I'd like to make an important announcement. Our agency, moneyhacks.com, is opening soon. Stay tuned, because this will become the best done-for-you agency for creators. Join the waitlist to be the first to use our services. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you like this video and would like to see more money-making videos like this. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment box below. See you in the next video.